Welcome to the Community Hotline, presented by 88 Real Estate Media, for the community, by the community. I am your host, Bob Fang, and today we have the infamous Radu. Mr. Radu, why don't you introduce yourself, good sir?
It was a very, very surprising song, and I really, really like it. Actually, without speaking before, you matched one of my favorite songs, so we had a good start to this show. I'm Radu. I'm the kind of guy you need to get an advice in terms of money, business investment, business plan, pitch decks, especially if you are a startup or established business. This is my profession. This is my job. This I like to do, and this is actually what I'm doing right now. By with my advisory company called Anderson Finance. Uh, Aside from that, and of course, what is most important, I'm a true feminist. I have two kids. The elder is 8 years old, and the other one, the small guy, is only three. Uh, and my whole life is around built around career, family, and since this occupies like 98% of my time, I do not have time for anything else.
Nice. I love that intro. Awesome. All right, so let's get into the first topic of the day, which is money. Tell us, what is money?
I think money is somehow linked to age. If
Age?
yes, if you are a kid or a high school or a student, you want to buy all kind of things and satisfy your own ego. To buy toys, to buy then to buy books, and of course, when you are a student, to buy beer and to go to parties. So, for younger people, I think money is just a mean to satisfy their needs according to their age.
Hmm.
For example, I want to buy myself some toy. I want to buy myself some video game. I want to go and see some movie. I want to buy myself some clothes, of course, from your shop. As your community already knows, you have a very nice shop where people can buy hoodies and everything. So
Yes, 88 Fruit Shop.
yeah, so visit that shop if you want to buy something nice. Of course, while coming to age, then you become a family man, and your budget is like 10% out of the whole budget of the family. So you do not have much money to spend on yourself, and your priorities become kids, family, going on vacations. Of course, you do not choose your vacation; your family chooses chooses it. So, but anyway, you have the feeling that you have the money, that you are earning the money, and you spend it with your loved ones.
Okay,
Uh, this is a perspective from someone who just earns money and see it as a mood of living.
I got
But
it.
in many senses, for many people, money these days also mean power. For example, if you are a wealthy guy, you will for sure want to become wealthier in order to achieve power, to be a leader amongst people, maybe to brag. Uh, maybe for someone is a way of revenge because, for example, in their childhood they had not had the money and they could not buy themselves the goods they wanted to buy. So
Mm,
now they want to have money and buy all the stuff in the world. So it depends very much on how you are feeling and what you are living and your life experience.
I love that. I love that. So, how has your understanding of money changed from when you were in a student in high school to now?
Yeah, that's a tough question, but I love it. So as per age, I mean, when I was a student, I wanted to have money to buy myself books, to go out with my girlfriend, to go out with friends, to go to the cinema. and that was enough. I had like very little money, but I was happy. So this is the first point. Now, after years of work of advising people how to make money, after working like 12, 14 hours per day,
Yeah.
I see money just like something that I need to have to support my family, but I'm not happy anymore. To say it like this. So I'm happy with what I'm doing, but somehow I'm too exhausted to enjoy it.
Right, I get it. You don't get to pick your vacations. All your 90% of your money goes to your family.
No, I'm not trying to depress our listeners. I just want to be realistic, and everyone needs to expect that after you get married, the priorities change. So be
Exactly,
aware.
exactly.
So be aware.
Exactly. So how about a money tip, for the kids that are in high school or in university, how do they make money? How do they what are some steps, like 90-day plan? Like if you were talking to a student, he's like, "Hey, Radu, can you teach me how to make money in 3 months?" What would you say to them?
Actually, I would advise them to start even with low-paid jobs. Everyone, as a teenager or as a self-starter or something like that, you need to understand that before earning important amounts of money, you need to learn how to do something in life. Because unfortunately, during the school, we are not really prepared to take on a job. We do not know how to do perfectly something. We just learn a bunch of theoretical things, which are good, help us become brighter. But when it comes to doing something by yourself, it turns out that you do not know how to do many things. So uh, my advice to everyone is to start even with a low paid job, to learn things that according to their age, and of course then become ambitious and try to move on and earn money.
Mm,
So I do not think it will happen in 90 days. I think for 90 days, in the 90 days time frame, you can learn something to do, and maybe in half a year or a year you can start earning your own money. I did the same. I remember that my first job was when I was 20 years old, and I was working as an accountant in a blue jeans factory, and
okay.
I still hear, the noise of the machines plugging the buttons to the jeans. It
Yeah.
was like a very noisy place to work. So I even now, 20 years after, I still hear those machines. So this is how I started, and actually, it proved to be a very good experience for me. It helped me grow into my career, and of course, now I'm very happy with what I'm doing. But it takes time and patience. This is
Time.
what I want to advise everyone: to have time, to have patience. That's the most important thing, and things will go by themselves. Then.
I got it. I got it. I love that. Okay, well, let's move on to the second topic of the day, which is education. Tell us, who were you in high school?
Unfortunately or fortunately, I was a geek. So I'm really honest with you. I was passionate about math. I loved it a lot. Then about reading, uh, here I was kind of forced because my teacher was very severe with us, and he was very demanding. Uh, Actually, I remember that in high school, my first grade was 1 out of 10. So the teacher put us read some paper, some story,
Hmm.
and he told us if are words in the text that you do not know, please do not hesitate to ask. And I was kind of shy guy,
Yeah.
and of course, I had not the courage to raise my hand and say, "Teacher, I do not know that word." And
Right.
I still remember the moment when the teacher come to me and she looked at me. What means the word? Some word, you know.
Right. Right. Right.
And I said, I do not know. Great, we have a one. So my
No.
first grade in high school was 1 out of 10, and
Wow.
it took me like a great effort to bounce back, to save my grades,
Right. That's the patience part.
Yeah, that's the patience part. Of course, that teacher I still is still in my thoughts. I always put him, like cursing him and.
Nice. I love that. I love that. What would you say? What are two challenges you faced? Growing up.
When you are in high school and or a student, you want to be accepted by the others. And sometimes it can be difficult because if you are you are a person who likes to study, to read a lot, you have the risk of being out of of the society. The other kids do not like you too much, but I always found a way to adapt to things, meaning that aside being a geek, I also try to be like a kind of, like a neighborhood guy, like singing songs with swears and playing basketball, and I
Yeah.
try to somehow to blend in. But this is a hot topic today. Many kids, especially when are in high school, they have this problem of being accepted by the other ones, and this can even lead to some very negative developments further in the life.
Yeah. Of course.
Uh, Also, to my luck, I started to have a very positive mind and trying to take everything very easily since high school, and I was not that how to call it negative if I was turned down by someone or people do not want to get out or things like that.
Yeah.
But for
I love.
many, that can be the end of the world. I mean. And today, the social media, for example, is a positive thing in our life, but can also turn negative. People tend to live around the likes, they get. I mean, especially the teenagers. And please, guys, do not look after the likes and everything, because you will see later in the life that you will be appreciated to your true value.
Of course. Are you scared about your 8-year-old experiencing that?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I am, because I see him that he is struggling to, for example, to create a YouTube channel, and somehow he is really, sometimes he's down, and I ask him, why are you down? Because you should be happy. You are a kid. Because I only have 8 likes or something. Which when I told him, man, this is not really important in life. You will see later on.
Right. But
So
he's 8 years old. That's his life.
yeah, exactly. So it's a good thing, this social media and the fact that we can communicate worldwide. But on the other hand, it can really be an issue for many teenagers and youngsters and even students. Later on in your life, you get to. I think you agree with me. You get to see that other things are also important in life, and you kind of leave the youngsters that you were to be, and you become a wise guy.
Right, right, right. Well, in that sense then, do you think like the school system, do you think it works? Are you a believer in education, or do you think, people should, do you think people should go to college, or do you think they should just go straight into the workforce and get some experience first?
Um, I truly believe in the educational system. It's important because it builds our mind, our way of thinking. It's important to accumulate all that theoretical things, even if at some point it might seem useless, but you have to get all this knowledge in order to become a person that you will gonna be in the future.
Mm,
What is missing, I think, everywhere in the world is the practical side of things. Schools should also be more practical. I mean, everything should be balanced, as in life. 50% should be theoretical, and the other 50% should be something practical that you can use in your life.
right.
Our discussions about learning practical things, and I think that's the way the school of the future should look like.
I hope they get more money because I think that's the issue, right? They some schools can barely afford books, so like let's keep it all theory, guys. It's the cheap way.
Yeah, yeah. True. But you learn in school, for example, about kung fu, but no one shows you what is kung fu.
What do you
So this
mean?
is, I mean, you learn about some cultures, the Japanese culture,
Yeah.
but no one shows you the why is that good to learn. For example,
Mm,
or maybe do some lessons. 1 hour lesson about the basics of these things.
right.
Uh, and it's the same for the math. I mean, many people learn math thinking that is only to take a grade, that they will use it in college or somewhere else. And at some point, you get to ask yourself, why am I learning these numbers, all these numbers? But maybe if someone would show you that with this you can do calculations, you can use it in many domains such as engineering, economics, and so on, maybe you would be more excited to learn math.
Right. 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 Right.
So the particles thing of things is still missing from school and from education.
I love it. How would you change the education system? What are some things? Three things you would change?
Uh, I think that 2 or 3, 2 3 hours per day of theoretical things should be enough, and the other part, I said, should be focused on practical things, on getting out of the school. The in the Nordic in Northern Europe, they already experiencing such systems. I mean, in Norway, Sweden, Finland, and they have very good results with their population. Meaning that, for example, in Sweden, they oblige the kids to get out, and during the breaks, they have to stay out of the classroom. Even if it is raining, even if you do not have the mood, to get out, and this builds up both their health, but also it builds up their spirits, because they become a team. They learn how to do things together.
Mm,
It's too much competition. This is the second thing I would change in school. It's too much competition between kids. Sometimes competition is good, but again, too much competition can go wrong. Just imagine some kid who has his own rhythm of development, right?
right.
And he is not able to cope with school at this point. But who knows if not in 2 3 years he will have like like explosion, and he will become very bright. But school will and grade will put him aside, because he can even be considered like mentally retarded or something.
Right. 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 Well, school's for
So
the masses, right?
yeah. So the two things I would change would be the grading system, which should not be so competitive, and also this balance between theoretical and practical things. And also, people should be more relaxed, get out of the classrooms during the breaks and take some fresh air,
I love that. I love that. Okay. Do you think it's realistic with the competition in how the business world operates today? Like, if there's no competition or less competition in school and then they come out into the real world and then someone stabs them in the back. They're like, "Whoa, what is this?"
Yeah, you made the point here. I mean, yeah, if you are not, if we would not have the competition in the school, then the world can, take you by surprise, right? It's true, but on the other hand, just think that when you grow up, your brain also perceive in some other way the world, and I think the risky period is the one between 15 and 20 years
Mm,
when too much competition can lead to negative developments. For example, in my case, I heard a teacher that was saying to my parents, Radu is not capable of even finishing the high school. And to me, it was like something that I like a hit, And I started to ask myself, "Am I really that stupid?" Which, which, if you ask yourself too much the same question, unfortunately, your subconsciousness starts to consider it as your reality, you know, and you start to think yourself, "Man, this teacher might be right," and this can bring you down because of that.
right, right. I agree. I agree. That's terrible. Well, I'm glad your teacher was wrong.
Yeah. I mean, now I will go to that teacher and show, look, look at me, you know.
I'm supporting my family.
But yeah, but teenaging is a dangerous age, and some people, because of such things, can even turn to drugs or team with the wrong people and do some gangs and stuff like that, and end up in prison. That's why we have education is important, because if you are encouraged by the school, and there are people who are saying to you, "You are smart, you can do that," or "You are not that smart now, but you can be in the future."
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
then people would not end up in prisons, would not end up in hospitals with mental disorders, or even worse, with drugs and everything. What happens around us?
Right, right,
So
right.
education is highly important for us, and it creates an order in our life, and it's highly important to have it, because otherwise your life can be a mess.
I agree. 100%. Okay. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Let's move on to the last topic of the day, which is love. Tell us, what is love?
uh, Again, when you are young, you want to be loved by everyone. You want to be the star of your class. You want to be appreciated by the other kids, by the teachers, by the parents, um, and that's fine, because everyone wants to be loved. But then you can see that is not the love is not shared by everyone, and you start to pick up some girl you want to focus on. So you do not want to be loved anymore by friends, by teachers. You want to be loved by a girl. And then you start to do all kind of crazy things, like trying to get her attention. Many people, started to sing. Some people did some poetry. Unluckily, I have no talent. That's why I'm a business consultant.
That's
and
not true.
for example, you know how to play the guitar. I do not know how to do that, so I had
Yet.
to.
Yet.
Yet, okay, and I had to find my own ways of getting the love.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay. And
people
how
said
did you do
I'm
that?
funny. People said I'm funny. I tried to leverage on that, but at the first 4 or 5 dates, I was having the doubts, because the girls were not laughing. and jokes. And then I said, "Man, my jokes work only with guys." And
You gotta
I
practice.
yeah,
Practice.
practice. And it was like the new millennium, and I started to research what makes girls laugh.
Yeah.
And then I got I
Do
tried
the
to apply
research.
some of these things. I found on the internet. Then I was asking the other friends, man, how can you make a girl go out with you?
Right, right.
And everyone was bragging, and then I found out that nobody was dating, of my friends. But everyone was bragging. Wow, I do that, I do that, I do that. And then I had to go to university, and fortunately for the girls, I think that I stopped for a period of time to date. So I resumed during university. I started to work, and my only date was the machine do 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 in the jeans factory. And I think the next attempt to go out with a girl was in my third year. But I said, now I'm wise. Now I know how to tackle things. I have my own money. I was going with my cards and everywhere, everything. I even put some kind of pierce in my ear.
Ah,
Said, man, I I need to look fabulous. Now it's my time.
nice,
And
nice. I love that.
I was waiting for the girl, and then the girl texted me, "I cannot come to the date." So,
Don't give
and
up. Don't
then
give
I
up.
said, "Man, I might have done some of my guys' jokes because I never heard of her anymore." So, the third year attempt was also unsuccessful. And then 1 year after I finished the university, I met a girl in the bank I was working in,
Mm.
and I got married. And I got married.
All that
And now I have
practice,
the
it
kids.
led to the moment. I love that.
All that practice was the thing.
It paid off. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, tell
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So I I talk to a lot of students, and sometimes they tell me, obviously, as you know, there's different types of love. It's not just love for like a significant other. A lot of students that I talk to, some of them have trouble, communicating with their parents. Like I know some kids, they're like, oh, I cannot talk to my father. He will not, like, he does not know how to communicate. So it's like, as a father, do you have any, advice, or what is your relationship like with your parents?
Even for me, it was difficult to communicate with them. My father was working a lot, and in general, he was leaving the house at 7 a.m. in the morning and was coming back around 9. And he was too tired to listen to my things. My mother was the one. She was listening to me and trying to educate me, to help me become a good person, and I want to thank my mom for that. But and That was not really very good for me because I had a very bad opinion about my father.
Mm.
But In the past 5 years, something incredible happened. I mean, my father is the one who helped me grow my kids. My kids love him. And I understood that actually he was not capable of sharing love with me because he was too busy with his work, but he was doing that to support us, to help us cover our expense and so on. So again, this is linked to age. When you are a kid, you want your parents to be all the time around you. When you are in high school, you do not you say to people that you don't want your parents, because the other kids might say, "Look, he's mama's boy," or something. and But then when you grow, you start to understand, because you become yourself a father, and you understand that actually this is the way that things should work in life. I mean, of course, now I try to spend more time that my father spent with me, and
Right.
I do that. I plan everything in my life. As yourself, I think I'm planning a week ahead what I'm going to do, and I'm always
Right.
try to find like 2-3 hours per day to spend with my kids. That's mandatory.
Of course. Of course. Okay. Well then just kind of to, wrap it up then. Thank you for sharing that. What are two pieces of life advice you have for those listening?
The first one is to believe in themselves. At some point, this is actually what I'm always telling to my elder boy right now. And I would like to share this, and I think it's good for everyone. uh, you have to have confidence in yourself, even if at times it seems that you are not good enough to perform, to do some things. Maybe some people tell you that you are not capable of doing something that you want to do in your life. You have to be persuasive, and to believe in yourself, and at some point in life, sooner or later, for everyone, it will pay off. So this would be the first advice. And the second advice is important to have a balance in your life, meaning that it's important to have a career, to have a family, and of course, while you are young, to build yourself an education and shape your own personality, and because it will help you become a person that has a word to say in your community, and without education and love, you cannot progress in your life. Education and love gives you the peace you need to build your career, to do whatever you want in life.
Mm, I love that. Okay, that's great. Don't give up, guys. Believe in
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
uh, there will always be someone who will tell you you cannot do it.
Yes, I love that. Okay,
So
well, thank you for joining us today. Do you have any last words for our audience? You want to tell them where they can find you? About your business a little bit more.
yes, whether you are a startup or an established business, I can help you create your business plan, your pitch deck, your financials. I'm specialized in that. More recently, I'll also offer business coaching services. As in my last 10 years, I've been doing such things for many, many startups from all around the world. I can say I have an international experience into that. My clients are in general highly happy, are very happy with the services I provide to them, and find useful the things they learn from me, with me. And I think that my highest satisfaction is when I see some of the guys that I advise that they manage to grow their business and live their dream, and create a small or a medium or even a large company, starting from a small business plan that we create together and from the things we discuss.
Mm,
And of course, if someone wants to reach me, my website is andersonfinance.com. I am also reachable at Radu around at andersonfinance.com. So if you want some advice, or just get in contact with me, please do that.
Got it. Check out the website below, guys, andersonfinance.com. Before I forget, 88 Real Estate Media is looking to build the best Kung Fu school in the world. We're looking for members to join the oversight committee. Please send us a message. And thanks a lot, Radu. Any last words for the audience?
Nice speaking to you guys. It was a nice experience speaking to you, Bob. Thank you for your questions. Aside from the advice I wanted to share with people, these questions also put me myself in the position to how to call it, to think about all these things again, and to have a review of my life. And I'm happy than ever that I took part in this great show of yours.
Thank you.